Meera Shah, if I can bring you into the conversation here, as Ambassador Goyal said, that the tables have really turned, and perhaps England and Britain, perhaps the UK really needs to now come to terms with the reality of the world that we live in. The fact that the UK, especially in this post-Brexit era, is the one that needs more friends beyond Europe. And clearly, rest of the world wants to better their ties with India. And today we have the UK Home Secretary here making bizarre claims that they have their concerns and doubts over a free trade agreement because the Indians are the largest group of people who overstay their visas in the UK.
Well, Sweya, braver man, the UK Home Secretary, I think it is a very, very bizarre statement by her because, as you rightly said, Devika, they are countries who want to strengthen their ties with India. They would want to welcome India whenever, wherever, however. And when she says that Indians overstay their visa, what is the UK government doing then? Why can't they detect not only Indian nationals, anyone who stays beyond their beyond their visa, beyond their stipulated date? What is the UK government doing? Why can't they trace them out and then deport them back to the country? Why? It is not a fault of the citizens who overextend their visa alone. That problem is there in everywhere. It's not just in UK or with Indians, pertaining to Indians in UK. It's there in all countries everywhere. I mean, but it is the responsibility of that particular country to identify them, dig them out and deport them back to their country. If they are not being able to deport them back to the country, it is the failure of that country's government where they are residing in. It's as simple as that. And now when you make a bizarre statement and a bizarre excuse that the free trade agreement, you would not want to pursue it further because we signed an agreement last year, whatever would be the reasons. I think it's very, very bizarre. It is really, I don't know under whose influence the Home Secretary of UK is, Suella Braverman. And these are just petty excuses, Devika. They do not really lead to anything else. But ultimately, let me tell you, even America, which is a superpower, needs India much more than India needs America. So ultimately, one can make n amount of bizarre statements. Ultimately, one cannot do without by ignoring India. One has to come to India for various reasons. One has to look upon to India. One has to be dependent on India because it is not the India which used to be earlier. Underprivileged India. It is now a developing nation where people would be dependent on us. So I see it not going too long. Ultimately, घूम फिर के उनको हमारे पास आना ही होगा.
All right, I thank our guests for putting out their perspective on this particular story.